And on to our last presentation before the lunch break, the winners of the Civic and Community category. This is in Cyprus. Please welcome the architects of the National Star Observatory, Kyriakos Salakis. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, my name is Elena from Kyriakos Salakis Architects, and today we are presenting the Star Observatory to you. This project is located on the island of Cyprus in the eastern Mediterranean, within the Troodos Mountains. The Star Observatory sits above the old village of Agridia in an often forgotten region of Cyprus, with a dwindling population, few amenities, and even fewer young people. But the local community and an active mayor really wanted to change this. They wanted to find a way to save the place they grew up in. They took advice from a local organization who specializes in rural regeneration projects, and they proposed a publicly accessible star observatory, a building that could be a catalyst for growth in the area. Cyprus is located in a region of the world with few star observatories, and this project could help cover the gaps, the data gaps. This would also serve the region's stargazing community, who had wanted an observatory since the 1970s. Out of these needs, the need for an observatory in Cyprus and the need for a lifeline for the village, the project emerged. The community invited a number of specialists to see the feasibility of a star observatory in this location, and this was when we were called in. At this point, they wanted a very simple building, but we understood that it wouldn't be enough to achieve their goals. So, what was the real potential of this project, and how could it make a difference? The village really needed to change direction, and it was obvious that if it didn't, in 20 years, it would literally have died out. This was an opportunity to create a place that can attract people, an opportunity to create a centerpiece for regeneration that could create a microeconomy around the observatory. To make this a place that was exciting enough to want to travel to, we identified three key things. One, it needed to be visible. The mountain road does not pass through the village, but it can be seen from half a kilometer away. So, two, it needed to be distinct, and it needed to have a strong identity to be memorable. And three, the human experience needed to be something extraordinary. Why? Well, traveling to space is one of mankind's most ambitious endeavors. And the building that housed such an ambition needed to be equally inspiring. The site is located 450 meters from the village center on a stretch of land overlooking a vast valley. Despite its long, steep, and somewhat challenging terrain, rather than altering it drastically, we aim to preserve the mountain's natural form through a linear structure that sits lightly on the land. We shaped the building through a series of logical architectural decisions, and programmatically we positioned the primary stargazing activities at the top level, dividing it into 4 sections. It's from here, from these spaces, that people will look out to the views and up to the stars. We separated the building into 2 main telescope volumes with an opening creating both a distinct entrance and a viewing platform. Next, we chamfered the second volume to frame views out to the highest mountain of Cyprus, placing an astro marina here as a versatile platform for movable telescopes as well as a place for events. Finally, we anchored the structure down by sinking it into the soil, allowing it to blend into the landscape. This is a photo of the building at dusk, and its final form is a reflection of these decisions, the choices that were made. The lower level houses the secondary functions, the entrance, the reception, the cafe, the office, lockers, storage, WC, and presentation room. And the upper floors house all the stargazing facilities, the night telescope, the solar telescope, the astro marina, and the bridge that connects all of these. This observatory's functional purpose is to invite people to look up to space. And we wanted to emphasize this connection with the cosmos while making the building harmonious to its surroundings. The reflective exterior allows the structure to almost disappear at certain angles, blending with the surrounding landscape. Its reflectivity shifts the focus away from the building and onto the movement of the clouds, the play of light across them, and the building exterior becomes all about the skies, the stars, and the universe. That fractured panelization stems from the fragmented rocks on the site. And there's this cinematic quality to the ever-changing skies around the building. And when you approach the building from underneath, or if you're coming to the site from the surrounding mountains, it really is quite an experience. When designing the building, we were thinking about the duality between the sky and the earth. And whilst the outside focused on the skies, inside we wanted it to embody earthiness, grounding it firmly. And you can feel the tension between the earth and sky at certain moments like this, where the building is both grounded and anchored and elevated. The inside borrows from elements from the site. The entrance of the building is clearly marked by the gap between the two main volumes. As you enter, the first thing you see is the window directly ahead. This framed view looks out over the valley, and the landscape is reflected back into the building, captured in the underside of the bridge above. It's from here and from this window and from the bridge above that you get a real sense of calm that stems from the site. Inside, we find a warm, human-focused experience. The floors are poured concrete and granite. The walls and ceilings are clad in marine plywood, arranged in a grid that spans the entire building, highly durable and providing a natural warmth to the interiors. We chose long-lasting materials, embracing a no-paint approach. The choice of earthy materials is meant to be a reminder of where you're looking out to space from. At the tallest point of the building is a fully accessible, powerful night sky telescope housed under a 5.6 automated dome that rotates 360 degrees with unobstructed views out to the stars. And within the second volume, we have the solar telescope room housing a large retractable roof. And this space holds very special significance to us because there are a few publicly accessible solar telescopes in the world. And we wanted this place to be a sanctuary that blends warmth with an exciting sense of discovery. In this photo, you get a good sense of the contrast between the inside and the outside worlds. The Astro Marina for movable telescopes captures the sunsets, as does the building envelope. Each space plays its own role, offering distinct perspectives, and together they invite you to explore places near and far. Before I finish, we wanted to highlight the people who built this observatory. It was built by locals from the area. This is the contractor on the left, the two Carpenter brothers, who this was their last project before they retired, the father and son who did the earthworks, and the husband and wife who did the waterproofing. Everyone was from the area. At the project's opening night, it was wonderful. The whole community and neighboring villages, they showed up. Seeing everybody engaged with the building, the telescopes, and the views was a delight. This project is a testament to the power of architecture. And at the heart of this publicly funded project is the community. And when the doors open to the public, we hope it becomes a destination, attracting many more people to the village, that it sits in harmony between the earth and sky, that it inspires the next generation of explorers. And in years to come, we hope, it stands as a reflection of the values we hold as a society, our civilization's spirit for exploration, and our desire to feel a connection to the earth and universe. And we hope it's a place that ignites a sense of wonder in visitors of all ages, and that the Star Observatory stands as a catalyst for the people, for the change for the people of Akhridia, for the village of Akhridia, and this forgotten region. We thank you very much.
So a quick clarification, what is Astro Marina?
Oh, so it's this external space, because sometimes when you're using the telescopes, you're unable to see certain things, or you have a number of people, because only one person can look through a telescope at once. So you have other telescopes that are movable on this projected space, and it's just an outdoor veranda, but we've called it an Astro Marina.
Okay, and the other clarification, the bridge that is cantilevering out, is it part of the function, or is it your amazing moment?
I think because when we first visited the site 8 years ago, you get onto the top of this hill and you look out to this beautiful view into the valley, and we knew we wanted to frame that, and that's why the bridge exists.
Okay, congratulations. It's a very beautiful project as well.
Thank you.
I have some questions. First of all, what is the exterior material? I mean, this aluminum?
So the solar telescope, the dome that sits on top of the main telescope is stainless steel, and then the rest is a reflective composite panel.
Reflective?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in one sense you said that we wanted to bury building a bit, to be a part of the topography, to be a part of the context. And then when you clad with this material, I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm just asking
We've never used this material anywhere else. It's not a material that it was just this place, this context, for this requirement.
It's a very specific choice. Yeah. But I mean, during the daytime, even during the daytime, the building works as a lantern, right? I mean, with the.
It really doesn't.
Isn't it shining? I mean.
Not really. No, not really. That was a question that we all had, whether that would happen, but it hasn't had that. It's not this diamond shining out on the mountain. You actually can see the form, and so that's been really great. And when you go there, you see the mountain. So the horizon continues onto the building, and that's really nice to see.
One more question about interior. I mean, I saw that it's nearly the whole interior is plywood, right? I mean, it's plywood.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the reason of it?
So we wanted a relatively cheap material because the budget for the building was around 1 million. That's before the telescopes, and so we had a limited budget. So we wanted, we spent the money on the exterior, and the interior we really didn't want to continue this cold palette on the interior. We wanted a real warm. We could talk about the geology of Cyprus and how it was underground, and that whole region was under the sea, and we were very aware of this because it's part of a geopark. So even though it's something we haven't really talked about in any of our presentations, actually, it was something that was very conscious. So the earth was important. Mm-hmm. So having a material that felt, you got that feeling from, and we really like marine plywood. We think that projects that we've gone into that have used it, and we tried to not cut the panels. Like the panels they came in, we chose those sizes so we didn't have to cut as much. And marine plywood is easy to sort of replace. It's cheap enough. So we really thought about the cost of maintenance of the building over time, because we weren't confident that the client's going to always be able to do that in the level that we would expect or want. So all of the choices had, those considerations as part of.
Thank you. It's a beautiful project.
Thank you.
No, I have two questions. One is, But what was the process to make a decision to make these buildings as a community? There was other option, or because you said this is a community buildings in a rural area, but
Yeah.
who make the final decision to make it? And is this a public or is it private?
It's a
You
fully
pay-
public,
A fully public.
a
Okay.
fully public building. So the narrative that we've presented is the narrative. It is the truth of the project. The village has 70 people there. It used to have a growing population, and since the 80s, it's been going down. And so the people in the photos, in the pictures of the people I've taken photos of, and the mayor, for example, he works in the city, but he comes back up every day. He lives in the village. So what was really important was to try and create the microeconomy that we were talking about is real. You know, some of the neighboring villages have things, but this place doesn't even have a shop. If I want to buy milk, I have to go to a neighboring village. And what we really wanted to do, push to have happen, is that this project will generate activity around. So the mayor knew that he needed something, but when they came to us, they came, you know, it was a close competition. So when they showed us a picture of a star observatory somewhere else, and it does all those wonderful things. It's in stone, which is, you know, some material we love and we use all the time. But we knew that if we did what we've seen done everywhere else, that it would be nice, but it wouldn't do the thing that we needed. The goal was to bring people, attract people, be functional, and it needed to not just attract people at night, because stargazing is a nighttime function. And you have to then have hotels, which we do have in the neighboring villages. So, you know, we needed somewhere to have coffee. We needed somewhere, you want to have somewhere to go buy your, you know, buy things.
Yeah,
so those were the things that we were trying to do. He knew that. So that company that I said that gave them the idea for the Star Observatory is extremely active, and their office is like 20 minutes away, even further up the mountain. And what they have done is they took the mountain region and they saw where there were problems, like which are the villages that have issues, that need something to help them, you know, to bring agro-tourism and actually have functions going. Because Cyprus, you know, it is very well known for like its beaches, right? And everyone does that, but people don't go to the mountains. But the mountains are beautiful. So they have these different types of activities like this one that they realize Cyprus doesn't have. And so if we dot them around, whether it's got to do with Cypriot cuisine or if it's got to do with stargazing, because we have 300 days of, you know, clear skies. And so there was a program of projects, and I think the mayor who made the decision, because it's the community's decision, just went with it. You know, they never thought that they would have this. You know, this was never something they had in mind. Anyway, yeah.
And his work now.
Oh yeah, I spoke to him before we came here. And he was like, you know, we've got hundreds of cars coming at the weekend. Okay. People are so curious, and they. What we did was we made sure that, for example, there's a cafe, because it's what I was trying to say before, is about you need the daytime use. So that's why there's a solar telescope. That's why we made that space interesting, beyond the functional purposes. And then, you know, you need a place for. You know, sometimes you just get people who are bike riders and they want somewhere to stop. Well, this becomes that place. And with that great view, even if they don't go inside and look at the telescopes, they've come to the place and spent some money at the end of the day.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful project. What it does, it has a poetry of linking the fact that the telescope is to look back in time a long, long way. And it has a galactic dimension. But at the other end, you have the intimate, with the community people helping to build the project. And I think this synergy of time and space that you've managed to pull together.
Oh, we've lost you.
Eustace.
Thank you. Yeah, so this kind of sense of intimacy and expansiveness, which relates to time and space, I think it's pulled together rather beautifully, because the temptation may have been to put a stone, a very anonymous type of stone, structure up there, which might, for some people, bring back memories of places like Jaipur at a sort of smaller scale, but that's the fascination of astronomy. So what's lovely for me is that it's looked back a hell of a long way, stopped time, the mayor stopped time, and he resurrected the village to the future. And I think it's a great project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.